Hello, KGC Show fans and listeners. Today, not only is this my 50th episode this week, so thank you for helping me to get to 50 episodes, but today, for 50 episodes, I thought I could call in the best of the best, and boy, do I have that here today. I am so honored that they are helping me, or letting me help them promote their brand new single, Holding On to Yesterday. Please give it up for a KGC show favorite, Ron Fairchild, and he is joined today by the great Ginger Eldridge. Ginger and Ron, welcome.
Well, thank
Hey,
you. It's wonderful to be here.
indeed.
How you doing, Ron?
Hanging in there, buddy. Everything's good. No complaints.
There you go. Ginger, welcome to the show.
Thanks. I've watched a lot of your podcasts, through the last couple of years, and I enjoy them. So I watched you cut up with Ron a few times. It's been fun to watch. So
Yes, he is one of
yeah,
my all-time favorite guests, and anytime I ever need a guest, I know I can call on Ron. He always delivers his A game. So I know today won't be any different. But we are here today to talk about the brand new single that released a couple days ago called Holding On to Yesterday. Who wants to kick us off and talk a little bit about how this song came to be?
I think she should go.
okay. Well, so every Saturday I'm a part of a group of folks from all over the country. We get on Twitter and Blue Sky, and we listen to Sirius XM 70s on 7, and we count down whatever Casey Kasem is counting down for that week. It's usually that week in whatever year in the 70s. And one Saturday, I heard we were already in the middle of recording this record, and 75 was the year, and I heard Holding On like, oh my gosh, we've got to do this song. I could just totally, when the groove started, I could hear Ron on that B3 and just on the keys, and I could hear Scotty doing the bass groove, and one of our many favorite guitar players, I just knew could do this, and I just prayed. I prayed. I was like, God, this has got to happen. This song is incredible, and the background vocals and everything, it just got me so excited. And the thing is I've always been a big fan of Ambrosia, but I've never dug deep, and I always thought they were late 70s. I didn't realize that's terrible of me. I didn't realize that this song came out in 75, and it just blew my mind. So that's how it got to going, and I sent it to Ron. I'm like, we've got to do this. And I'm so incredibly thrilled because the prayers and the dreams and the manifesting, it all came true. We got Scotty on bass, and then Ron called Donnie Carr, and to play guitar. And oh my word, he killed it. They all killed it. It's fantastic.
Well, Ron, you first met Ginger by, if I believe it or not, she designed your website for you, the ronfairchild.com. She designed that for you. And when you were working on your website, did you ever would have think that you would have be producing a album on her?
Well, no, of course. I mean, I met her at a Christmas show that when I was still playing with the Oak Ridge Boys at Opryland. We did 3 years in a row. Most people don't ever do that. But she showed up through a mutual friend, and I mean, we had a bunch of yucks that night. And one thing led to another. I don't know really exactly. I don't remember everything that I've ever, done. But uh, yeah, she did websites and stuff. And I was like, I've owned, or not owned, but I temporarily owned ronfairchild.com, but I never did anything with it. And I'm a tech guy, but I don't care about websites. That's beyond that. This is what I do in this room. So I said, let's, won't you try it? And she's up for it. And then one day, and I don't remember exactly how this happened, but there was a Foreigner song, one of my very favorites. Might not it was a single, but it might not have been one of the biggest known songs that they did. And she started singing it. And I knew that she was a pro. She had done things for a lot of different artists. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And, that's me. I go, hey, why don't we do a song? So I forget what the first one was, doesn't matter. But we did that, and then it got good. So I was still with the Oak Ridge Boys at the time. And I would come here to this very room, and I would do another track. And then, it's a collaboration. I send that back. And then when I would be in town to leave on the bus to go do a job or something, I would go and record her vocal. And it just sort of happened like that. And one song turned into 4 that turned into 8. And now we have 14, which no one saw coming. But, you can't say no to some of these songs. The whole thing about this project which is called Rewind, it's songs that are so classic. Most of them are in the 70s and early 80s. I get all that. There's a couple that she suggested that go into the 90s, perhaps even the millennium thing. I don't know. But every song was worthy of inclusion. And, my favorite times are 70s and 80s. And she mentioned the AT-40 thing. I got involved in that through her. And, of course, I love those people. And, these songs would show up and I'm like, hey, man, I've got the energy to do this. So I would start out on a track. And it all started with me playing every instrument, not because I'm all that great. It's just that I'm the only person here. And I can play any instrument, so I just went for it. And then she suggested, I think she was the first, or maybe, doesn't matter. Scotty Simpson is a great bass player. He's been playing with the Oaks for, I don't know, 12, 13, 15 years, doesn't matter. And Travis Tripp before that, and Pam Tillis and some other people. And I was like, hey, man, you want to play on this? So he's game. So I started sending stem mixes out to him. And then this Ambrosia song, which ended up being the first single, I was like, I know who I need here is Don Carr. So I gave him on the phone. I haven't talked to him a lot since he left the Oaks, but he's up there at Fort Wayne at Sweetwater, and he's got a great gig up there. And he ain't lost a note. You can tell by listening. So he's all over this thing.
Yeah.
And then we had one more fantastic player who I've worked with a bunch of times over the years, and so is she, named Tom Hemby. And, he's plugged in pretty good in one of the songs that we did, and she will explain this to you more. I'll leave that there. But, I mean, it just started with me and her going, these are great songs. Let's do this one. And we just didn't stop. Like I say, 2 turned into 4, 8, 10, 12, and now there's 14 songs. But every one of them are good. I wouldn't can any of them. I'm sorry. I feel good about all 14 songs. So I'll hush for a bit. But I hope I answered that question.
Oh, you did just great on that. And what's one thing for both of you that you want listeners to receive when they listen to this new project? Like, what's one thing that you want them to take away?
That these songs are fantastic. These songs were great in 1975. And I remember Sir Paul McCartney one time, they were asking why he was playing Beatles songs back in the 70s when he was still with Wings. And he said, man, these are great songs. Just because we did them once and you think they're classics, they are. I want to sing them. Well, why shouldn't these songs be done again? So what the two of us did was reimagine these songs. They don't sound exactly like they did before because, frankly, I can't sound like Ambrosia or Foreigner. She can explain all the different artists we did. But I do what I do, and these songs deserve a rethink, or if you will, a rewind. And that's why we called it Rewind. So I'll bow out and let her finish.
Well, somebody else asked me that question of what do I want this project, where do I want it to go? And really, I've never chased stardom. I don't, the whole thing of streams and all of that, that's amazing. And that means that people are listening to it and hopefully loving it and getting something out of it. But my main uh, vision for this is that people will listen and their hearts will be touched, and it'll take them back to another place in time, like where they were when they first heard this and what it brought up in their heart. I want people to be moved by it. And the ultimate crazy goal would be is if maybe some of these original musicians and artists heard what we've done and thought we did it justice. I would love that, and you just never know. And that's a big part of it. That's but the main part is just touching people and taking them back, rewinding them back to that time. So and you know what? And for younger kids, younger people to hear them and go, dang, that's a great song. I need to go check that out. Like my daughter is, she's 25, so she's right in the middle of Gen Z, and she loves every song on this album. She is into it. She's sent it to her friends. She's, because I've sent her some files before, we're releasing it. But yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So, when you got the track back, Ginger, for this particular song, what was going through your mind? Like, what was, when you heard your vocals back on it and everything produced from Donnie to Ron on the drums, I might add, how did that feel to you?
It brought me to tears. It was everything I had envisioned when I heard it that Saturday when I was listening to American Top 40. It was everything and beyond what I could have ever imagined. It started out where, Ron sent me his part, the basic track. Then I did my vocals, and then I did the background vocals, and that was a lot of fun because I love doing background vocals, and I love, sorting out the parts and doing every part and hearing how it stacks up and how it sounds. And hearing that back was just, oh my gosh, because Ron is absolutely the best at what he does when it comes to engineering and producing and mixing. And then once I heard what Scotty did, I was just like, this is exactly what I envisioned. This is exactly what I knew he would do on that. He could do it. And then it took a while in the whole game. And then when Ron said he sent it to Donnie Carr, I mean, that was just it. That was the icing on the cake for me. So then when I heard what he did, I cried. I was like, is this real? Is this for real? It's so much more incredible than I could have dreamed. So it's just, yeah, these guys are amazing.
Yeah.
And it's out of their genre too. It's out of their usual genre, because they play country basically. Now Donnie's doing a lot of stuff, but for their job, I'll call it their day job with the Oak Ridge Boys, they did country. But these guys are so talented beyond one genre. They can do anything. There's a song on this project that is a Nat King Cole classic. And when you hear that music and how they took that and just, it's beautiful. So they are beyond, they can do any genre.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ron, for this song, you called in your Oak Ridge brothers, Scotty Simpson and Donnie Carr. How was it reuniting with them on this piece? I know that it's all digital now, but what was it like to know that you got some of your Oak Ridge brothers back together on a project?
Well, Don has been gone for maybe 20 years. It doesn't matter. A lot of years. And the only thing I do with him now is send files back and forth because the internet doesn't allow for that. There are some downsides to that contract, but really it's good that you can get anybody at any time. And Scotty I played with more recently, but Scotty and Donnie and I played in the group for a while. And even though the music is certainly not the kind of music we're doing now, these guys are capable of playing this stuff and doing it as good as the original, perhaps even with a little bit of an update. And that's what this is all about, is updating it. It's not trying to beat it or be as good as. It's a different take. But with Scotty, I mean, it'd been, I've only been retired for, I think, a little bit less than a year now. So, and I still go out occasionally, I'm going to go out and fill in if they ever ask me to do anything. I mean, you really have a picture after 45 years of me saying no? I don't think so. So go out and play with him, and he's like, man, you always say, hey, we need to do some more stuff sometime. And that's the kind of thing you say. And you just order another drink, and it never gets done. But in this case, I don't know if she did it or I did it, but it got a hold of him and said, hey, I'll send it to you. If you have energy for it, do it. Because we're not doing this for money, and I really want that added. This is not about cash. In my personal opinion, in fact, this is costing us money if you really want to get down to it. Because, we didn't write these songs. These people that wrote these songs deserve whatever the market allows for that. So we're not doing anything illegal. It's all totally above board. And if any money was generated, as far as I'm concerned, it should go to the guys that wrote these songs.
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily just guys. There are a couple of women involved in this. That, when I say guys, I just mean people.
Yeah.
So we're not doing this for money, man. This is because we can. And again, I think one thing she said that I really agree with is it's just to see if the ultimate goal would be if the original artists of any of these songs, now Nat King Cole is no longer with us, but the ones that are still here, if they ever were to hear it, first of all, that would be goal number one. Goal number two would be, hey, man, I like that. Good job, guys. That's all I really care about. I don't care about anything else. I've already done everything I'm going to do. I just want these people to think that we did them justice. And has it happened? No, but we've only released a single. I don't know when the record will come out. I think that's her. She's the administration sort of person. I just do the music, but we are waiting. If I can add this at this point, we're waiting on one more person. And you know what? I want so much to say who it is, but let's just say that there's been over 10 million records sold by this guy, and he wants to be a part of it, and he's got the stuff right now. So we might have one more, as she said, a ringer at the buzzer. Was that the way it was put? And if so, I've never sent that man. I've been working with him for 25 years, 20 years, whatever, and his group, and that may give a little bit of a hint away. But I've never seen a file that he ever played that wasn't perfect. So we're just hoping that he enjoys some of this and will weigh in. So I'll hush now.
Well, this next question is actually for you. So you got to do a few more minutes. But what does it mean to you to be working with somebody like Ginger, who is up and coming artist and who has already had a lot of success with her website design? What does it mean to you to kind of give her her dream and her passion?
Well, I think that's an easy answer. I mean, I have always been a player. I can sing a little bit. I'm just not very good. I can do background parts, but you really don't want to hear me sing New Kid in Town, as Vince said one time. You don't want to hear me sing New Kid in Town. I thought that was funny. Yes, I do. But anyway, to have someone with that level of talent, she was able to bring life to things that I couldn't come close to doing what she did. It's not bad to say. We did a couple, 3 Foreigner songs. And Lou Gramm, my goodness, Lord, he may have some health issues, but that's one of the greatest vocalists ever. And that's one of the songs that I heard her sing the first time. And I said, well, good grief, listen to this. If she can pull that, would you like to do some tracks? Now, I can do the music part. So what does it mean? I haven't had the opportunity to work with too many singers that can bring it, as we call bring it. She was able to bring it on everything that I gave her. And it's not just one thing like hard rock. She mentioned the Nat King Cole thing. We've got a Paula Cole thing. Uh, we've got some things that are real down, sort of intimate, sort of sounding. She brought to that too, and I was happy with every single thing that was done. So what does it mean to me? Yeah, to have a vocalist that I can work with that can actually bring that part, which I cannot do. The rest of it in this room right here, I can do just about anything you ever want to get done, but I can't sing like that. So that's what it meant to have someone. She's the first person that came to the table that could do that.
You also, Ginger, I want to allude to, you have three incredible musicians on here: Donnie Carr, Ron Fairchild, and Scotty Simpson. All three A-list of musicians, in my opinion. What does it
Yep.
mean to you to have them a part of this project?
That's who's playing on this song in particular. Donnie is playing guitar on this one, and then Tom Hemby is playing on. We're going to start out the record with "Always Remember Us This Way," which is the Lady Gaga song from "A Star Is Born," and Tom Hemby's daughter co-wrote that song, and I've known them since Natalie was a child, and I've known Tom for 40 years. He is Amy Grant. He's played with everybody, and so I want to mention him as well. He plays, and he plays on that song. I just one day I was like, and I texted him. I was like, "Would you want to hear this and play it?" And he wrote back a few hours later, and he's like, "Yes." And that has meant the world to me to have these guys. It's like I said before. I know I keep repeating myself. It's a dream come true. I did a lot of singing in the late 80s and in the 90s in town, and I was a part of the Christchurch choir, and we did a lot of backgrounds on a lot of records back then. And then I took a big long break. I did a few things here and there, and but it hasn't been until I never dreamed I could do a record. Like I said, I've never really wanted to be an artist. I've just wanted to sing background vocals, and to be able to do this with these guys, what? It's like, what? Listen, when it's funny, the Oak Ridge Boys, my favorite Oak Ridge Boys song is Fancy Free. And that album with Elvira on it, I remember sitting in my bedroom when I was, 12, 13, 14 years old, sitting and listening to that and harmonizing with them. And after meeting Ron, at some point, I took that album out and started looking at the liner notes, and his name's in the liner notes. And that just made me start crying. I was like, whoa. This is 13-year-old me, 12-year-old me is sitting here going, is this for real? And to have band members of that group help me out, help us out, I'm beside myself. It means the world to me.
That's me every time he texts me or calls me. I get that same little boy feeling. It's like,
Yeah.
man, this is one of my best friends of all time. Like, we talk regularly, and so to just have his name a part of my show means a lot to me. So thank you, Ron, and to everybody that has supported not only this project, but these guys and their incredible new single called Holding On to Yesterday that is out everywhere right now. What's one thing that you guys are excited about since it's been out a couple days? What's been some of the responses that you've heard from the song?
I think she knows a lot more about that than I do, so I'll let her go on this.
Well, the one that's meant the most to me happened this morning. There's one of the American Top 40 crew. We call them the AT40 crew because we follow the hashtag AT40. She texted or she tweeted And she put a picture in their two dogs, and she lost her husband. He was way too young. And she tweeted to us and said, this song means more to me than you'll ever know, because it was one of her husband's favorites. And she knows that all of these songs were favorites of her husband's. And it's really touched her heart. And that's it for me. Success, I mean, because that's what I wanted, is for people to love it, and be moved by it. So, yeah. And I've gotten a lot of really cool messages from like high school teachers, classmates, that's meant a lot too. People from my past. And it's caused me to reflect on how much those people meant to me. Like my high school choir teacher, how much she meant to me. And without her, I would have never had the nerve to sing in public at all. So people like that's just been really cool. And just the support. I mean, I'm just mind blown by the support that people want us to do well. And, you kind of worry about haters and like, what are people are going to listen with a critical ear? Because, I mean, a lot of musicians are going to listen to this, and they're, a lot of people probably, in the music industry are going to hear it. And I get nervous, like my insecurity comes out and I'm like, oh, what are they going to say? But it's all been support and positive, and that means the world. It just means everything. It's been great.
And there's one thing I can add. This may be hard. There are people that are going through bad times, health, family, problems that you don't have today, but you might have them tomorrow. And if a song can touch those people, you know what? You just won. You're not going to win a Grammy. You're not going to win a CMA award or whatever else award you want. But there's the award you want. A song that touches somebody that's going through something bad. There's the ultimate reward.
Yeah. We end this album with the song "Goodness of God," which is a CeCe Winans song. And if you don't mind, I'd like to share why I wanted to do that song. So I had never heard that song until the Nealons. We lost them in the plane crash. And somebody had posted them singing it. And the words to that song, it stopped me in my tracks. It's so beautiful. And has led me through the fire. He has. The Lord has led me through so many fires in my life, so many challenges. And when I heard them sing that, and then when I heard Autumn sing it after the fact, the strength that took on her part, I was like, I really want to do this song. And then I researched and heard CeCe's version, which she sang it on American Idol. Not this last time she was on, but the time before. And it moved me to tears. And so that's one of the reasons I really wanted to do it, though, is kind of my little dedication to the Nealons. I loved them when I was coming up, when I was growing up. Classiest, sweetest people. And so, I just wanted to share that. There's a reason behind each and every song that we chose. And I want people to be moved by the goodness of God. And I want them to see somebody like me that's 58 years old. And this is a dream I've had, to be able to just do a record since I was 13 when I sang my first solo in church. Um, I just want people to be moved by that and see, don't give up on your dreams, and remember the goodness of God through it all, through the worst times of your life. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line of what this show is. And there's not very many shows where I am hard to talk after, but this is one of them, and I thank you for it because you're right. Music is, and what you said about the Nealons and how you kind of wanted to do the tribute to the Nealons, you did them amazing. You did it incredible. And
Thank you.
I'm so, I know that they are looking down. Proud of you. Um, and proud of this record because it will be doing great, great things. Make sure um, you guys want to do a rapid fire Q&A. I got to pull myself together after that. That was powerful, but it's much needed. But y'all want to do rapid fire?
Sure.
Sure. Bring it.
What's your favorite current song right now?
Oh, does it matter what genre?
No.
And you mean a song that's out now?
Yeah.
Okay. I have become a huge fan of Benson Boone and Beautiful Things. Hush now, don't laugh at me. Um, I love Beautiful Things. I think that is an incredible song, and he does an amazing job. I never heard of the guy until I saw him on the Grammys, and the guy ran up to the stage, jumped on the piano and did a flip, and then came right down like Freddie Mercury and just nailed it. And I love the background vocals on it. It's very choral kind of thing. And so right now, if you were talking about something current, I think that's that's my favorite. Yeah. So you're laughing at me.
Well, mine is not current. I'm going to Life Beyond LA by Ambrosia. And I'm going to do that song this week. 1975. Here we go back 50 years.
Yeah. Well, the
Because
favorite song of all time for me is the Bee Gees, of course. How Deep Is Your Love? The Bee Gees are my all-time favorite of. I mean, I fell in love with them when I was like 8 years old, and How Deep Is Your Love is my favorite of all time. Since Ron got to go back 50 years, I'm going to go back 50 years too. So
well, I might
and you
as
know
well.
what? We do three. Is it three, Ron? We do three Bee Gees songs on this album, but
Yep.
they're kind of off the beaten path. They're not what you would think we would do. Although I would love to do "To Love Somebody." We do a couple of songs from the 80s and 90s. One is "Ordinary Lives," and the other is "Closer Than Close." And that one, Morris sings the lead on, and I wanted to do that as a tribute to him. And Ron is the one that said we should do that. And I was like, well, that's a tribute to Morris right there. And you'll be surprised when you hear that. It's pretty cool what happens in the middle of that song. And then we do "Emotion," which was a Bee Gees song. It was Samantha Sang who did the lead, but they also do that song. And so, yeah, we've got some Bee Gees on there, and Foreigner, Ambrosia. It's pretty cool.
Well, how about we kind of? I got a few more kind of key questions. First off, where can people keep up with you guys and keep up and download this song at?
That's her territory.
Okay. Well, ronfairchild.com, gingereldridge.com. I just took my own website live. I've been used to doing things for a lot of different people, and I'd never done one for myself, so I did one for myself. And so there's links there that you can go to that takes you to a link tree that has each and every uh, streaming service that the song that song is on currently, which is iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube. Um, you can choose. I found that you can choose it on Instagram and TikTok to make TikTok or Instagram stories with. You can choose that song. It's on there to do, which blows my mind. And so, yeah, those are the places you can go. And they're adding more services every day, like Tidal will be one, and it's on iTunes. So, yeah.
Ron, when you were making music all those many years ago, did you ever would have think that music would be spread out this way?
Absolutely not. I came up in an era where it was record labels and, 12-inch vinyl and cassettes and then CDs, and all of those are dinosaurs, which I'm not going to say it, but, I mean, it's a brave new world. I don't understand a lot of it, but that's the way it is. Get with it or don't get with it.
Right.
Couldn't say it better myself. And final
Yeah.
question, well, final 2 or 3 questions is, when you guys release the entire album, you guys want to come back and talk about it, maybe track by track. We'll go by track and uh, talk to us about what each song on that record means to you guys, and what it was like recording each song, and something like that. So would y'all be up for something like that?
Absolutely.
I'd be honored to.
Well, and third, but most finally, where can people go to keep up with you both personally?
I would say Twitter, um, something called Blue Sky, which is new to me, and ronfairchild.com, of course, and gingereldridge.com, as she said before. Those are the places to keep up with it. Facebook is also a big deal.
And
Yeah, Ron's got a new Facebook page. So,
yeah,
yeah.
so make sure that I'll link to all of this in the description down below. Make sure that you guys go stream and download not only um, I'm holding on to yesterday, but their new album called Rewind with 14 new songs. And we cannot wait for this release. And we want to thank you guys so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to sit down and chat with us this week. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
Thank you,
No problem.
Caden. Thank you so
Two
much.
of my favorite guests that I've ever had on the show, and I know I say it with a lot, but you can't replace the icon that is Ron Fairchild, and you definitely can't replace the legend in the making that is Ginger Eldridge. And we thank you so much for the love and support, and we'll see you again on the next time on the KGC show. See you, everybody. Thank you.